The world knew Queen Elizabeth II as a symbol of strength, dignity, and unwavering duty. For more than 70 years, she served as the face of the British monarchy, guiding the institution through wars, scandals, cultural revolutions, and political change. But behind the crown and the calm public image was a woman bound by some of the strictest traditions in the world. Royal life is not simply about palaces, jewels, and ceremonies. It is governed by centuries-old rules that shape every movement, every word, and even personal emotions. Many of these rules were created long before Queen Elizabeth was born, yet she had to live by them every day of her life. Some of these traditions demanded extraordinary sacrifice. Others forced her to make decisions that tested her heart, her patience, and her identity as both a monarch and a mother. Over the decades, there were moments when these royal rules nearly broke her spirit. But she endured them all. Here are 15 royal rules that nearly broke Queen Elizabeth. Duty always comes before family. One of the most painful rules of monarchy is that the crown must always come first. No matter the situation, the monarch's duty to the nation outweighs personal feelings. Queen Elizabeth faced this rule countless times. She missed important family moments, birthdays, and milestones because royal responsibilities demanded her presence elsewhere. Even during family crises, she often had to maintain a public schedule that allowed no room for personal grief. This rule meant she could never simply be a mother, a wife, or a grandmother. She had to be the queen first. Always. No public display of emotion. The British monarchy has long followed the tradition of emotional restraint. Royals are expected to remain calm, composed, and dignified at all times. For Queen Elizabeth, this meant controlling her feelings in front of the entire world. Even in moments of tragedy, she rarely showed tears or visible distress. Critics sometimes interpreted this as coldness. In reality, it was the result of a lifetime spent mastering the discipline required by the crown. 3. Political neutrality at all costs. The monarch must remain completely neutral in politics. No opinions, no endorsements, and no public disagreement with government decisions. Queen Elizabeth met with British prime ministers every week for decades, discussing national and global issues. Yet she could never publicly reveal her thoughts. This rule required incredible restraint. Imagine witnessing political decisions that affect millions of people and never being allowed to express your own view. 4. Strict royal protocol for public appearances. Every royal appearance follows a strict set of guidelines: how to walk, where to stand, when to speak, and even how to wave. Queen Elizabeth perfected the famous royal wave, a small, controlled gesture designed to appear graceful while avoiding fatigue during long public events. The precision of royal protocol left very little room for spontaneity, turning even simple moments into carefully choreographed performances. 5. The monarch cannot refuse invitations easily. As head of state, Queen Elizabeth was expected to attend countless ceremonies, state dinners, diplomatic meetings, and international tours. Many of these events required hours of standing, smiling, and greeting thousands of people. Even when she was tired or unwell, the expectation was clear: the Queen must appear. 6. Every word matters. When the Queen spoke publicly, every word was examined by governments, media outlets, and millions of citizens. A simple phrase could influence diplomacy or spark controversy. Because of this, speeches had to be carefully prepared and approved, leaving little room for personal expression. 7. Royal life means constant public scrutiny. From the moment she became queen in 1952, Queen Elizabeth lived under relentless global attention. Her clothing, her gestures, her relationships, and even her facial expressions were analyzed. There was no such thing as privacy. Every public appearance became international news. 8. Personal opinions must remain hidden. The Queen likely had strong personal beliefs about many issues, but royal tradition required her to keep them private. While political leaders debate policies openly, the monarch must remain silent. This silence protected the monarchy's neutrality, but also demanded an enormous level of self-control. 9. The monarch must maintain tradition. Queen Elizabeth inherited a monarchy rooted in centuries of tradition. Changing these customs too quickly could threaten the institution itself. Yet the modern world demanded progress. Balancing tradition with modernization became one of her greatest challenges. 10. Royal family conflicts must stay behind palace walls. Like any family, the royal family has experienced disagreements, tensions, and emotional conflicts. However, royal rules demand that these issues remain private during times of public scandal. Queen Elizabeth had to maintain composure while dealing with family problems behind closed doors. 11. The Queen cannot simply retire. Unlike most jobs, the role of monarch does not include retirement. Once crowned, the monarch served for life. Queen Elizabeth carried out royal duties well into her 90s, continuing to work despite age and declining health. 12. Constant travel and endless ceremonies. State visits and royal tours are essential parts of monarchy. Queen Elizabeth traveled to more than 100 countries, meeting world leaders and representing Britain across the globe. These journeys were exhausting, often involving packed schedules with little time for rest. 13. The crown controls personal freedom. Even small personal choices, what to wear, where to go, who to meet, were influenced by royal expectations. Queen Elizabeth's life was carefully structured around tradition and duty. The crown brought immense responsibility, but very little personal freedom. 14. The monarch must represent stability during crisis. During wars, political upheaval, and national tragedies, the Queen had to project calm and reassurance. Even if she felt uncertainty or fear, the public expected unwavering stability. Her role was to embody continuity and confidence. 15. A lifetime of service without complaint. Perhaps the greatest rule of all was simple: serve without complaint. Queen Elizabeth rarely spoke about the difficulties of royal life. She believed that leadership meant quiet strength and steady dedication. Through decades of change, controversy, and personal challenge, she fulfilled that promise. Queen Elizabeth II lived a life unlike any other. Behind the glittering crowns and historic palaces stood a woman who carried the weight of tradition, expectation, and responsibility for more than 7 decades. The royal rules that governed her life were demanding, sometimes even overwhelming. Yet she followed them with remarkable discipline and commitment. Her reign became the longest in British history, not simply because of time, but because of her unwavering devotion to duty. In the end, Queen Elizabeth proved that true leadership is not defined by power or privilege. It is defined by resilience, sacrifice, and the quiet strength to carry on, no matter how heavy the crown may feel.